Hey y'all, Heather here. I am going to talk to you today about safety for September. So we will go ahead and jump right in. First of all, I wanted to talk with you briefly about the training we've been doing on cranes and rigging and signalman training most recently. There was a situation that came up a little while ago at a branch, and the customer wanted to see our signalman training as well as our rigging training. And of course, we found we did not have any signalman training. So we're trying to get things together, realize that Carlton Scale falls into two different categories. We, for the most part, are general industry. So when you're out on a truck scale and you are just doing a regular calibration, and you're using the heavy-duty test truck and you have the buggy, we just fall under regular general industry and some basic guidelines apply. But when we start talking about installations and we start moving things around, whether that be a floor scale or a truck scale, then we fall into the construction category, and things become a little bit more complicated and they have a little bit more stringent rules and regulations. So that is why we are doing this crane training and doing the signalman training. I sent you a test today from Heather Wilkinson at my Gmail account. It'll go into it comes from Gmail, it's from Google Docs, and it's a test on the signalman training. It shouldn't take you very long. And then also for September, you will be watching another video for training. It will be crane, basic information about cranes. It'll be a little bit of signal training, and then it'll have a little bit of rigging training. It's about 15 minutes long. So that'll be your September safety. I just wanted to give you a little background information as to the two different regulations, your 1926 construction and your 1910 general industry, and how that applies to us at Carlton Scale. Okay, so I need to report that we now have a fourth incident. So that gives us 3 sprains and 1 crush for 2017. And I put a copy of our graph here, incidents by month and year, and you will see that fourth quarter, we tend to not do so well in the incident department. So we're already at 4, and we know we're going into fourth quarter, where history shows us that's not a good quarter for us. So be very mindful going into the next several months. Take your time, slow down, really focus on the take 2 and the identify 3. Make sure you are looking out for yourself, looking out for each other. It really matters to our customers how safe we are, and the only way that they can determine that is by looking at our numbers. So when our numbers are high, as they are now, their first thought is Carlton Scale is unsafe, and we don't want them to think that we're unsafe. And it looks like the 3 sprains, we're having some issues with some sprains. So I wanted to talk just a little bit, real brief, about how to prevent strains and sprains. You can do things differently. We talk about all the time that just because you've done it that same old way doesn't mean that's the right way, and there's not a better way. So think about better ways to do things. Maybe it's just something as simple as not being organized. If we were better organized, maybe it would prevent us from having to stretch or bend or twist a certain way to get something. Stretch before you start your job. Stretch after lunch. Make sure your muscles are warmed up and you're ready to do your job. I have a short video here that I want to play, and it's going to take me a second to get it running because of the way I'm set up here. So one moment. So we're going to watch this short video about strains and sprains. Let me share my screen. I'll be back.
And sprains are painful injuries to muscles, tendons, and ligaments. They are common workplace and sports injuries that are usually caused by 3 things: overuse, improper technique, and lack of conditioning. Here's how they occur. Sprains are caused when a joint is forced to move into an unnatural position. For example, twisting your ankle causes a sprain to the ligaments around the ankle as the joint is overstretched out of position. Strains can occur when muscles are pulled, twisted, or torn. When someone tries to lift something before warming up the muscle, the sudden pull on a cold muscle can cause a strain. So how do we avoid strains and sprains? Wear protective footwear to reduce stress on your ankle, foot, and leg joints. Make sure your shoes fit your feet properly. Avoid high-heeled shoes. The higher the heel, the more susceptible you are to a sprain. Avoid activities for which you have not trained. Always warm up and stretch before doing work, exercise, or sports. Do a proper warm-up. Stretch and warm up your muscles before lifting. Slowly move the joints around and get them warmed up. Have good flexibility by gently stretching muscles and joints before subjecting them to stress. Stack your joints. Properly align your arm and your legs. Twisting your limbs under load causes strains and sprains. When you feel pain, lay off. Pain is your body's way of telling you that it needs to rest. Remind yourself to always use good posture. Poor posture strains your lower back muscles. Lift according to good lifting rules, like never lift and twist. Decrease the distance you must stretch to lift a heavy object. Get help when it might be too heavy. And finally, know your body's limits and stick to them. Thanks for watching and have a safe day.
I wanted to remind you as well that September is our tool inspection month. The colors are red, that's our annual color, and then orange is for the month. I know I sent a couple emails out explaining that we're going to do things a little differently. One of them is we're going to be recording the ohms. That is a strict MSHA requirement. And I have added that here for you to look at the 56, 57, 12, 28 testing grounding system for the MSHA guidelines. And then also I sent a message out that there's no real clear regulation that states that you have to do it this way, but from an inspector's point of view, if they were to come out and you had 5 extension cords, they want to know which extension cord goes to which reading on your paperwork. So if you have 5 extension cords, then they need to be extension cord 1. You go over here and read the information from extension cord 1, extension cord 2, extension cord 2. They want to be able to match up that data. And if you have 5 extension cords and 7 drills, they want to know how to match that information up. So for right now, you can use a Sharpie to write a number on there, label them, E1, E2, E3, whatever you want to do. We're going to try to come up with a more professional, consistent, hopefully that doesn't require a lot of effort on the branch's part. We'll try to have something better in place going forward for fourth quarter. So for now, if you have several extension cords or several drills on your truck, just find a way to identify them so that they match up to your paperwork, however that may be. If you have any questions or concerns, please let me know. If you have any bright ideas or any insight on the best way to identify that, put tags on them or labels on them or a better way to do that, please let me know as well. As like I said, we're going to be talking about the best way to do that going forward. And last but not least, a little tidbit here on quality, way better quality. I'm not going to say a whole lot. I want you guys to take this time and talk about this in your branch. We are striving to be that way better quality focused Carlton scale, and we want you guys to be the trusted advisor, and we want to have good customer service when the customers call in to the branch, and we just want to do a way better job no matter what we do. So with that being said, take a look at this picture and talk about it as a branch and ask yourself, is this way better quality? Thank you so much, and you guys have a great rest of the month, and I will see you in October.